Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm super excited that you are here tonight. I hope you enjoyed a little bit about my story and kind of why I, left the emergency room as an ER charge nurse and went to pursue my journey and my career of helping people with health and wellness instead of being in the ER and treating disease. So I wanted to do this PowerPoint and show you a little bit about Plexus, what their mission is, and then the products and why they're addressing some of the number one health conditions in the world today. So what is Plexus? It's a health and happiness company. Our mission is we enhance the health and happiness of those who support, promote, and use our products. It's crazy today, when you look at some statistics, 85% of Americans wake up tired, right? We have adrenal fatigue, we have chronic fatigue. 60% of Americans are overweight or obese, and 60% also have what we call dysbiosis, which is an imbalance of good bacteria and bad bacteria. So I love that Plexus is really trying to correct and improve some of these amazing statistics, right, that are kind of sad in a way because, we want to help people, right? Those in the medical field want to help people that aren't in the medical field. Most of them want to help people. So, 1/3 of US adults are struggling with overweight, right? They're obese. So, this slide right here is, I put America's getting sicker. It's very saddening. If you sit at a store, right, or a mall or something, and you watch people walk by, you might look at yourself, maybe some family members you can think of. People just don't look healthy, right? So obese BMI is, greater than 30. So the average youth obesity BMI is 17%. That's crazy. And then 35.7% have greater of the BMI in overall America. That has doubled, right, in adults. So it's really crazy. And when you have those type of statistics and when you have just people that are not healthy, it leads to a whole slew of other conditions. So, 80% of people have autoimmune disorders. 85% of them are women, which is crazy, right? I mean, we are, most women out there, we're trying to work on a career, lead a family. And if we have an autoimmune disorder, it's really, really hard. So I love that Plexus is not only addressing the obesity crisis in America and helping to prevent people from getting to that obese level, but also helping to address gut health. And we are a gut health company because gut health leads to autoimmune disorders. And when you have an autoimmune disorder and you have leaky gut syndrome and you're obese, your metabolism is in the gutter. And without a healthy metabolism, you are not able to break down fat cells. You're not able to have the energy to even maybe go to the gym. You're not able to make those good food choices because you have so much stuff, yeast, bad bacteria, craving bad food. So let's really kind of talk about your gut. This is new research for a lot of people. A lot of people don't realize that maybe what's going on inside, maybe my immune system, maybe my skin conditions, my mood, right? All my gut health, maybe that is the reason why I just don't feel good today. So let's kind of address some of those and figure out what's going on. So leaky gut syndrome has actually been around for a long time, but it's just now becoming the forefront of education in the medical field. And unfortunately, the cure for leaky gut syndrome is supplements. It's diets. And, supplements and diets, unfortunately, don't make big pharma money, right? So, as an ER nurse, I remember people coming into the ER when a lot of their conditions could have been corrected by, great supplements and, the changes in their diet. But instead, the doctors would just put them on antibiotics and just put them on more steroids or pain medication, which is causing a bigger issue in the long term. So, leaky gut syndrome, it's a rapidly growing condition that millions of people are struggling with, and they really don't even know it, right? From the sound of it, you might think leaky gut syndrome might only affect the digestive system, but in reality, it can lead to a slew of other health conditions. According to research, the cause of your low energy, your joint pain, food allergies, skin conditions, thyroid disease, slow metabolism, weight gain, inability to lose weight, and even autoimmune conditions, they all originate in the gut. So, what is it? What causes it, right? All this stuff right here in the picture. So you have stress, you have toxins, food particles, drugs, pathogens, and then just organ malfunctions, people's organs that are slowly just not working anymore because of these issues. So, think of the lining of your digestive tract, right? If you have a long, say, hose of a digestive tract, that has, like a net, and it has little holes in it, right? And those little holes only allow specific substances to pass through. So it's like a net. So, someone gets to go through and someone doesn't. So your gut lining, it works like a barrier, keeping out bigger particles that can damage your system. When someone has leaky gut, that net of your digestive tract, it's damaged. So it causes those bigger holes to develop. So things that usually can't get out and are not supposed to get out, they're able to get out. So some of those things that now can pass through include proteins like gluten, bad bacteria, yeast, and undigested food particles. So toxic waste, right, now that's leaked through the inside of your intestines into your bloodstream, it causes an immune reaction, right? So this picture kind of shows you, gut inflammation, it gets inflamed, it creates bigger holes, you get food intolerances, and then long term, you get this immune inflammatory reaction. So what are some of the symptoms, right? How do you know you might have it? What might you be feeling? Bloating, right? Food sensitivities, thyroid conditions, fatigue, joint pain, headaches, skin, digestive weights, and then symptom X, right? I don't know, but that's a whole autoimmune disorder where the doctors, you have all these symptoms, right? You go in, the doctors are like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why you feel that. So one of the biggest warning signs that you might have leaky gut is you might be experiencing just overall pain, chronic fatigue, skin, and food sensitivities. Those are the common ones that you usually feel. In this allergic response in your system, it doesn't mean that you're going to break out with a rash all over your body, but if left unpaired, it leads to, severe health issues like inflammatory bowel disease, right? IBS, arthritis, eczema, psoriasis, depression, anxiety, migraine, muscle pain, chronic fatigue. According to the Journal of Diabetes, there's a strong body of evidence pointing that leaky gut syndrome is, the number one cause of autoimmune disorders, including type 1 diabetes, y'all. Type 1 diabetes, where their pancreas is not producing enough insulin or doesn't produce any insulin, is actually an autoimmune disorder. So it's really, really important because, not only is that a huge problem, but leaky gut is also one of the major causes of malabsorption for vital minerals and nutrients in your body, including zinc, iron, and vitamin B12. So it's really, really important that, we address some of these issues that are causing leaky gut. So some of the most common ones that you can repair is poor diet, right? Poor diet. Stop with all the gluten. Stop with the sugar, the processed foods, the genetically modified foods. All of those are recognized as toxins in your body. Chronic stress, right? Chronic stress is horrible. It weakens the immune system over time, which really cripples your ability to fight off foreign invaders like bad bacteria, viruses, right? It leads to inflammation and then ultimately to leaky gut. So chronic stressors lead to either, too much or too little stress on the hormone cortisol. And studies show that both extreme weakens, can weaken the integrity of the GI tract. So blood sugar imbalances from diabetes, it creates insulin resistance or hypoglycemia. And that's one of the most common stressors today. And it contributes to, that poor health and thyroid health. So it is so important that, you are looking at some ways to relieve stress. Toxic overload, right? Toxin overload. So just overall toxins in your system that are leaked through. And then we're really, really going to talk about Candida yeast right now and bacterial imbalance. So let's talk about yeast because a few of our products directly target Candida yeast. So when it's at proper levels in your body, Candida, which is a fungus, or some people say Candida, tomato, right? It aids with nutrient absorption and digestion. So it's actually a good thing. But when it's overproduced, watch out, right? It becomes a serious concern that can cause so many negative and very serious health problems. So let's get a little history real quick on where it originates from. So you get your first dose of good yeast and good bacteria when you pass through the birth canal. Okay, so this is some latest research out there. It's actually been out, but it's kind of coming to more of a media where they're comparing children that have been delivered via vaginal, but then also comparing them to children that have been delivered via C-section and looking at the rates of infections and the bad bacteria that some of these babies that are born via C-section are having because they're not passing through the microbiome and the good yeast through their mother's vaginal canal. So when you're born, you get if you pass through the canal, you get a healthy dose of this yeast, right? It keeps your body in balance. But the first time, right, you have sugar. First time you get that juice when you're a toddler, you are rapidly growing that yeast. Yeast feeds off sugar, right? If you're making bread or making, say, beer or something like that, right? You put in more, it grows off that sugar, so you're feeding it. Same thing that happens in the body, right? You're getting overproduction of this yeast. First time you take an antibiotic, right? You got an ear infection when you're little, take an antibiotic. Oh, it just wiped out your good and your bad. So it all starts from the very beginning. But inflammation of the gut lining, often involving, some type of yeast overgrowth, it's the primary symptom of leaky gut syndrome and irritable bowel syndrome. So, antibiotics, right, kills off that good probiotic flora, gut inflammation from the yeast infection. And then also, there's just several other factors. So prescription hormones, right, birth control, hormone replacement, prescription steroids, so hydrocortisone. And then excessive use of, processed foods. So foods that might be contaminated with parasites or fungus or even mold can really aid in the growth of it. Increased refined carbohydrates like candy, cookies, soda, white bread, right? That's American diet right there for you. And then also alcohol and caffeine consumption. So alcohol is a natural result of yeast overgrowth and sugar, right? Yeast and that sugar make alcohol, and add some extra stuff in there. So let's talk about the bacterial imbalance, right? So finally, really one of the other leading causes of leaky gut is what's called dysbiosis. So it's an imbalance between beneficial and harmful bacteria in your gut. So for many, this imbalance can begin, again at birth, right? But there's approximately over 400 species of bacteria in your system that make up your gut microbiome. You actually have more bacteria in your gut than you do cells in your entire body. That's how important gut health is. Let's kind of say that again. You have more bacteria cells in your gut than you have in your entire body. So these bacteria can help you digest food, synthesize vitamins, meaning absorb them, break them down, fight off harmful pathogens. Gut bacteria is really the fundamental of your overall health, and without them, you would not survive. So out of those 400 species of gut bacteria, there's certain types that are considered really beneficial. And your body requires very specific balance of good and bacteria. So gut dysbiosis, right, the imbalance, allows this bad bacteria, such as yeast, to really change your gut microbiome, which can prevent you from properly digesting food. So all of this leads to an inflammation of your gut, and it damages the gut lining, which leads to, remember in the very beginning I was talking about this permeability, right? So these little toxins are going through your gut lining and they're getting in, your system. So what's really, really important is, you have to figure out what's stemming this gut biosis. And it has a really big effect on your immune system. So 80%, think of this, 80% of your immune system cells are found in your gut. So changes in your gut bacteria can not only wreak havoc on your organs and your weight, but it can also really weaken your defense against illnesses and disease. So research also has been shown lately that there's a direct link between the gut health and the skin, known as the skin-gut axis. Your skin is one of your largest organs. So when there's something wrong on the inside of your gut, right, your skin's gonna show. So adult acne that's not caused by hormonal, right, adult acne, eczema, psoriasis, all of that is caused by an imbalance of good and bad bacteria and overgrowth of yeast in your gut. The gut and brain have a very, very close correlation. And, so gut biosis not only affects your body in countless ways, from acne, rashes, but also to mood disorders. So let's just kind of talk for 1 second on, the gut microbiome and autoimmune disorders, and then also the gut brain real quick. So the gut brain connection, right? So gut health has been linked to really a lot of psychological disorders such as anxiety, depression, and bipolar. So in many cases, if you heal the gut, you can heal the brain. So in 2017, there was a study that showed this correlation. They studied 44 adults with irritable bowel syndrome that had mild to moderate anxiety or depression. So half of the group took a probiotic, a specific probiotic with the bifidobacteria, and then the other one just took a placebo, right? So researchers found that twice as many patients saw improvement with depression when they took the probiotic than those that had a placebo. Twice the many. That's insane. So the bidirectional communication channel, right? The communication between the neural system and the gastrointestinal, so your brain axis, right? What the chain that connects those. It coordinates the behavior of healthy gut bacteria and brain activity. So the gut is therefore called the second brain for a lot of good reasons. So in addition, many neurotransmitters, including serotonin, so serotonin is known as your happy hormone, it's made in the GI tract, right? So if you don't have this healthy balance of good and bad bacteria and you don't have your yeast under control, you're not able to make as many neurotransmitters, including your happy hormone, serotonin, so you're depressed. So microbes that are normally present in the gut, they stimulate those cells to produce 90% of your body's serotonin. Isn't that crazy? 90% of your happy hormones produced in your gut, and 80% of your immune system's produced in your gut. So let's kind of talk about one of the big autoimmune connections here. So not only is it an inflammatory reaction in your system, but there is a really, really big correlation to how poor gut health impacts thyroid. So for 90% of Americans with hypothyroidism is caused by Hashimoto's. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease. So since most of your immune system is situated in your GI tract, poor gut health is a significant factor for triggering these autoimmune disorders such as Hashimoto's, right? So an important part in taming Hashimoto's is to repair your gut. And how this happens is our digestive tract, it has all these really good bacteria that we've been talking about. So the one way that it really affects the thyroid is it produces the active thyroid hormones. 20% of the thyroid function depends on the supply of healthy bacteria that converts T4 to T3. Those are your active trigger numbers for your thyroid. So if you don't have good bacteria and a healthy correlation, you're going to have all these autoimmune disorders, but your thyroid is going to be in the tank, right? So let's figure out, how does Plexus help this? So we're going to weed, right? We're going to weed out any harmful substances while supporting the body's natural detoxification process. We're going to, seed it, right? We're going to add some good beneficial probiotics to it. We're going to feed it. We're going to feed it with our triplex system, right? our Slim has good stuff in it, and then we're going to protect it with great gut health and immune system products. So here we go. We're going to weed with the ProBio and the Bio Cleanse. We're going to seed with the Vital Biome. We're going to feed it with the Slim, and we're going to protect it with our X Factor Plus. So let's kind of take a look real quick at these products, and I'll explain, what they do. So weeding your garden, right, with the Bio Cleanse and the ProBio. So I also like to compare this, like a hammer and a broom. So let's kind of start with the ProBio here. So the ProBio is one of our really powerful probiotics that focuses on yeast overgrowth. So it keeps intestinal yeast in balance. So some of the symptoms that you have too much yeast in your system is you crave sugar. You have that fatigue, that chronic fatigue. You can't lose weight. You had that brain fog. You had that 2 p.m. crash nap. All of those are signs that you have too much yeast in your system. So you have to break that down. You have to get rid of it. If you don't, you're not going to be able to lose weight and keep it off. There's proven research out there. You have to address the yeast overgrowth. So Plexus ProBio 5, it's really formulated to promote this optimal gut health environment and a balance of yeast. So it contains powerful digestive enzymes, and one, in fact, is called chitinase or chitsanase. There's several different ways you can say it. It's an enzyme that specifically targets the yeast lining, right? So the shell, the lining of that yeast is hard. People compare it to, scientists and researchers compare it to like a cockroach shell. So it's very hard. So it needs a specific enzyme that targets that. And this chitin is what does that. It's a chitinase. The lining of that yeast is actually called chitin. So chitinase, ACE in the medical world, or ASE, is an enzyme. So it specifically breaks that down. So it helps to really support that healthy tract. And that's just why I say it's kind of like a hammer, right? It gets in there and it chips all that bad stuff away. But it also delivers good bacteria too, because you don't want to take all that good bacteria away, right? You have to have that equal balance for dysbiosis, so we don't have dysbiosis. So if you're breaking all that bad stuff away, which is needed, you need something to come behind it and help kind of clean it up a little bit. You don't want to just have it sitting in your digestive tract. So this is where BioCleanse comes in. This is where it's a broom, right? It kind of just comes in and sweeps it away. It's not a laxative. You're not going to go running to the bathroom. It's very gentle on the body. It has a really good dose of vitamin C, which provides antioxidant support. It has bioflavonoids in there, which are from orange peel, lemon peel, and that really helps to create a healthy pH level and oxygenate the cells. But it really helps to cleanse it. It reduces any gas or bloating or discomfort. It helps to remove that breakdown of yeast and bad bacteria. And our products are gluten-free and they're 100% vegetarian. So that's really, really good. So your first 2 steps would be to, weed your garden, right? The next one is seeding your garden. So seeding your garden is with a, healthy dose of good bacteria. So this is where Vital Biome comes in. Vital Biome is another sort of a probiotic, just like ProBio 5. But remember, ProBio 5 specifically targets yeast, right? Vital Biome adds in 20 billion bacteria at the time of manufacture, right? 8 clinically documented strains. So that bifidobacterium, there's tons of research on that we talked about earlier about having that in your gut. We have that. We have the direct correlation of it. So it's really a revolutionary probiotic that really clinically demonstrates ingredients that help improve your health and your mood. Remember, bifidobacteria, again, was one of those ones that were the researchers did the placebo study and gave them also straight bifidobacteria, and it decreased their anxiety and their depression. So this is the main product for that. So it helps to stabilize any stress hormones. It promotes relaxation. It helps also to reduce, any bad gas or bloating. It increases, that bifidobacteria in your colon by 150%. So it really helps. It comes in a delayed release capsule, so you're getting the bacteria where it needs to go. And that is so, so important because people can take probiotics anywhere, right? You can buy them at Walmart. You can buy them for $10, but it doesn't work. They don't have the right strains. They don't have a delayed capsule where it's getting it to the right part of your body, part of your digestive tract. So it's a waste of money, right? They always tell people, oh, go take a probiotic. So you go take one and you don't feel different. You feel a difference on these on these products. So it's really, really important. Okay, then you're gonna feed it, right? You're gonna feed your gut. So what's really, really good is we have prebiotics in our Slim. And let me just say that again, P-R-E, not pro. So the difference between a prebiotic and a probiotic is a prebiotic is like fertilizing your garden. The prebiotic is what feeds your probiotic, right? There's a lot of good research out there where you can add all this good bacteria to your system. You could be taking, all this, healthy food, all these probiotics, but if you're not feeding it in your gut, it's not going to do anything. So we have XOS, which is a clinically demonstrated prebiotic fiber that helps feed your good microbiome. It's in this little drink, which is amazing. Plexus Slim, it has a benefit to clinically demonstrate and help you lose weight. It really helps the glucose metabolism to help get glucose into your cell. It's gluten-free. It's 100% vegetarian, non-GMO. It's only 5 calories. Has a really, really good raspberry, lemon, watermelon flavor. It also increases Akkermansia, which is that microbe, by 250 times. So it's amazing. It's such a great product that I feel like every single person needs to be on this. And then, so this is some clinical results right here that we have our own clinical testing. And when someone took Plexus Slim, besides a placebo, they were able to lose 7.2 pounds more than someone that didn't, which I love. I think it's so great that we have these proven results. And then protect, right? We got to protect our garden. So once we get rid of all that gunk, we start feeding it, we really have to protect it. And we have X Factor Kids, which is the kids version of the X Factor Plus. And then we also have regular X Factor if you cannot have vitamin K. Vitamin K is located in the X Factor Plus. So this is one of the best vitamins that you can have. It contains a bioactive form of folate. So there's a lot of research out there with a certain type of gene mutation called the MTHFR mutation, where they can't break down synthetic ingredients, specifically folic acid. So folic acid is a synthetic form of folate. We don't want synthetic stuff in our products as best as we can get it, right? So we have the most bioactive form of folate. We have grapeseed extract, which is a really good polyphenol, which supports gut health. So all back to gut health, right? Because we know gut health is the most important. It has, high potency, the B vitamin complex, and it also, delivers the most bioactive form of all the vitamins. It has 19 essential vitamins and minerals, and it really delivers over 50 naturally occurring trace minerals. So it's really, really important, including vitamin K. So this is how healthy happens, right? We get to the source of what's causing some of the issues, and then we love it, right? We feed it, we seed it, and we get the best with it. Bye, guys, and stay tuned in this group for a few more giveaways and a little bit of information on this incredible way to get these products and also our wholesale route. Bye, guys.